can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so if you could tell me your name and where you're from.
My name is Chelsea, or sometimes Chels, I don't know. It's a little nickname, and I am from Westminster, California.
Awesome. If you could give like a genuine answer of how you're feeling today.
Pretty good. I honestly am not that bad. I am honestly really feeling a bit overwhelmed by school already, and it's just, feeling overwhelmed a little bit.
Yeah.
But overall good.
Can you tell me where you are in your mental health journey?
I'm in a very different place than before quarantine. Definitely, I feel like my anxiety has been like crazy. Like, it's just been like way worse than it was before. My mental health feels like it's kind of like taken a pause a little bit from like just being in quarantine and stuff, but it's also like just going like a million miles per hour, and so it's kind of different every day. But just feeling a little bit like disconnected from myself sometimes recently, and like kind of just in like a weird haze, you know?
Yeah, I feel that. Can you tell me when the last time you cried was?
Yesterday, my mom and I got into an argument.
When did you start to notice your mental health state kind of take a turn?
The beginning, I want to say around like my freshman to sophomore year of high school. I had spent my kindergarten through 8th grade years at a private Christian school with like 10 kids in my class, and I was moving on to a giant public school, and I was very nervous and also just really confused with like my own identity for a while. And just like, so around like freshman, sophomore year, I was just really, I don't know, it was like I was just thrown into a new world and with all these emotions and everything, and so that was a bit of like a culture shock, you know?
What does your race have to say about you?
My race? Thing about me, I mean, I'd have to say I do have like white privilege, you know, and I don't know, I feel like my place as a white person, like recently I've been learning a lot of new things and like learning how to be a better ally and all that sort of thing, and I would say that my race definitely puts me, I don't know, just, you know, I feel like a lot of white people take their privilege, not for granted, but they don't realize they have it, you know? And they're just like, oh, whatever, like, I went through this, or like, I went through that, like, I don't have privilege, you know? But, you know, we do have privilege, it's,
What about your gender?
So I identify as non-binary, and I use they, them, which is something I've like kind of recently been coming out as, and it feels, my gender to me right now feels very like another level of myself has been like opened, kind of. I feel a lot more free and like more space to like be myself and put myself out there, you know? And it's really shown me like all of the things that I like just like how my life was when I used like she, her, and like how my life is now, and like seeing all the weird things that like people, you know, kind of just like noticing more things that I didn't notice before. Yeah.
what are those things that you noticed before? Notice now that you didn't notice before.
I obviously notice when, like, people misgender me now. I notice how, how we can just, like, assume someone is one way when they really aren't.
Mm-hmm.
And how that, like, really, like, takes a toll on you, you know? Like, I'm not out to my parents about it because I just think they wouldn't really understand it and they would kind of make me feel more invalidated for it. But, like, I'm, like, noticing, like, all of the, like, gendered language they use towards me a lot that I've, like, grown up with and, like, still experience now.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, I'm not, like, using she, her. It's just, like, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
What are some misconceptions that people have about you based on your gender?
That I am, like, just one of those really cliche, like, LGBTQ people that, like, are kind of, like, made fun of on social media for being, like, really weird and out there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And assuming that I'm not just, like, a regular human being.
Mm-hmm.
You know, things like that.
Yeah. What about misconceptions based on your race?
Misconceptions based on race. I think my parents' misconcept about me, they're white too, and I'm white, and they kind of think it's dangerous for me out there, you know? Like, obviously it's dangerous for me out there, but, like, when I was going out to protest, they were, like, really concerned about me and my safety, and I was like, yeah, but, like, also, like, Black people walk outside every day and are put in danger because of their skin color. Like, it's not the same thing, you know? They're, like, really concerned about my well-being, obviously, but, like, it just is sometimes ridiculous because they will get upset at me for like, going out and doing, like, dangerous things, even though it's really not like that.
What about misconceptions about you based on your mental health?
That it's something that I can just, like, shut off and, like, just have control over whenever I need to. And I find that sometimes people will just, like, disregard how I'm feeling sometimes when I come to them for maybe, like, advice or I need to, like, vent or something. And they'll be like, oh, you're, like, overreacting, like, it's nothing, you're just being crazy, you're just need to go, like, for a walk, or you need to just, like, get out of bed or something. And it's just, like, I'd rather you say something, like, constructive to me, like, knowing that, like, I'm in that sort of state with my mental health, you know? Like, it's not just something you can, like, just forget about.
Are there people in your life, like, right now who do, like, validate your experience and your feelings and things like that?
Who are there?
Well, just asking, like, are there people?
Right. Yes, definitely. My friend Jess and my girlfriend, and my sister, they all are, like, kind of, like, the first people that I, like, told, like, to, like, maybe, like, try out these pronouns with me, and, like, they were, like, super great about it, and, like, immediately started, like, referring to me using, like, they, them, and, yeah, so they were really supportive for me. And also when I came out as gay in high school. My sister was also really supportive of me, and yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
In addition to that, you kind of mentioned it already, but what has somebody said in ignorance about your mental health, race, gender? Yeah.
If I'm feeling like really anxious or something, or feeling really down, I've had like people in my life in the past kind of just be like, oh, like come to them and be like, I'm really not like feeling okay right now. Like, can you like, I don't know, just like maybe be here for me a little bit if you can. And they'll be like, oh, like I'm sorry, you know, and like kind of
leave it at that.
And then I feel bad for like expecting too much of them, and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have said anything, you know. And then I feel terrible, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know about my gender. Not much.
No.
I mean, and this is more relating to like my sexual orientation, but like I went to a like party a while ago, and I had been there before, like with those people, and I had like short pink hair at the time, and I had been there before with short pink hair, and then I went another time with my girlfriend, and people had seen us there, and people were like complaining about us, and like we ended up like getting kicked out, and like it was just like ridiculous, and they tried to be like, oh, they have pink hair, like it's just we don't like that here, and it was just so ridiculous.
What?
Yeah, I was like, is this really happening right now? This is not real. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt like you were kind of like stuck in a cycle with your mental health, and like you weren't going to like overcome?
So in high school, like my junior year, I was very much still in the closet, and I was also just not doing very well. I was feeling really depressed all the time, and really insecure, and like that period of time, and like I wasn't out to anybody, so I couldn't talk to anybody about like how I was feeling, because I feel like all of like the sadness and everything kind of just like stemmed from me not like being who I am. And I was also a very like active Christian, and part of a Christian church, which is like fine, but it just was not good for me. So like that, like my junior year of high school, I just felt so like alone, and I was like nothing's ever gonna get better. I'm never gonna I'm like, I can never tell anybody about this, and like this is just gonna suck forever.
Would you say that you've overcome, or like, you know, moved on from that point in your life?
Yes and no. I definitely feel like I've moved on in the sense that like I am being myself now, and like I am very out, and I am very open about my mental health now, and like things like that. But I still sometimes like just like the whole experience of being in the closet and going to church and being a Christian was just, I think it's something that's gonna stick with me for like the rest of my life. Just like sometimes I'm like, what am I like I'm doing wrong? Like, am I like just making all this up? Like, am I going to hell, you know? But but yeah, fuck that, so.
So the part of you that has overcome, what would you tell yourself now to the person back then?
Oh man, that would be wild if I could talk to myself a couple years ago, man. I did not think that, like, I was gonna be here in this, like, place where I am now. And I definitely have to say, like, it's so cliche and everyone says this, but, like, it does get better, like, things are still gonna be tough, but in that part of my life, I would definitely want to tell myself to, like, just, like, know that you are completely valid and people love you, and it will get better.
Yeah. What are some things that got you to where you are now, that helped you grow?
I have to say the supportive people in my life, and definitely the internet, just, like, seeing people on the internet who were like me or going through the same things as me or experiencing what I was experiencing really helped me feel a lot better, because, like, I mean, like, in high school, I did not have, like, no one really talked about, like, stuff like that, kind of just, like, oh, whatever, like, everyone is sad sometimes, but yeah, and I would also say art and, like, writing, painting, like, creative outlets like that definitely helped me kind of become closer with myself and closer with others.
Yeah. Sorry. I have this, like, problem sometimes where I can't read my own handwriting. Okay, so what are some things that you can do now that you were not able to do back then?
I would say recognizing when I'm not okay and recognizing that it's fine when I'm not okay. Definitely knowing that I have friends that I can reach out to and know that they will be there for me and, like, understand my experiences. Yeah.
And right now, in the present moment, are you holding on to anything that you would like to let go of? Could be something small.
I definitely would want to let go of, I'm always, like, a lot of people will, like, tell me that, like, oh my god, you're so brave, and, like, you are, like, really, like, being yourself and stuff, but, like, I really would love to let go the part of myself that is just very insecure about, like, my identity and my appearance and things like that, because sometimes it just, like, really holds me back.
So would you say you're choosing to let it go now, or you're choosing to let it go in the near future?
Probably in the near future. I still have to work on it.
So how do you think it would feel if you were to let go of those things?
I think I would feel a lot better. I think I would feel less ashamed of myself and who I am. I think I would care a lot less what other people think about me and if they're judging me or if,
Yeah. So, sorry. What are some things that you're grateful for having gone through what you've gone through?
I think I'm definitely grateful for going through, like, what was last summer? I can't remember the years. I would definitely be thankful for going through last summer because I just graduated high school and I was feeling really, like, I don't know, just weird about myself. And, like, I wasn't really a full person yet.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that whole summer, I, like, kind of just did whatever I wanted and was, like, I get to start over at a new, like, college and meet all new people. And, I then, like, went through a really hard breakup at the end of that summer, which was, like, just, like, a very eye-opening thing. And then I just was like, you know, I just need to be myself and not, like, take things for granted. And so I just started, like, cutting all my hair off and doing, like, whatever I wanted. And it was great.
Yeah. So how do you feel now compared to the beginning?
I feel a lot more energized.
Yeah.
And I
beautiful. Good shit.
I don't know. I feel kind of happy. Yeah.